3 months ago, Miss Lancelot passed away from a chronic illness. This was in Peralta's first year of high school. She was very close with her husband and teenage son. They did everything together. As a result of this traumatic experience, this put the son Peralta into a downward spiral in the wrong direction. Without a mechanism to cope, he turned to marijuana, which led to unexcused absences at school, resulting in a drop in his grades. His professors warned him that he would not graduate from high school without handing in his assignments. Peralta's father is yet to find out about this until he gets a phone call from the school. The school then informs him about Peralta's misdemeanor. Mr. Lancelot is frustrated with his son's behavior. He does not understand the cause of his absences and the lack of care in his grades. Peralta has also been lacking in his home responsibilities. They barely hang out as a father and son anymore, and Peralta is inconsistent with his chores. They learn how to communicate together and come to a conclusion properly. The passing of Miss Lancelot has drastically impacted both Peralta and his father. They will work together to form solutions that will benefit both of them. Throughout the video project, different communication topics and techniques are used to demonstrate relational listeners, empathy, sincere apologies, and both confirming and disconfirming responses.
Hello? Yes, speaking. I'm sorry, what? Can you repeat that? No, he's a straight A student. What? Okay. Okay, then thank you. I'll talk to him.
Peralta's father was shocked to hear from the school that his son was skipping class and not handing in assignments. Peralta had previously been on the honor roll, and he had always been a dedicated student, achieving straight A's. However, Mr. Lancelot had become disconnected from his son since his wife died. Mr. Lancelot threw himself into his work as a way to deal with his overwhelming grief. Peralta and his father have been dealing with their grief in very different ways. Since his mother's death, Peralta has become distant and quiet, and he doesn't speak much to his dad at home. Mr. Lancelot wants to talk to his son about his behavior at school. He wants to speak to Peralta calmly to hopefully get to the bottom of the situation and come up with helpful solutions. However, when Peralta doesn't come home on time and misses curfew, Mr. Lancelot begins to get upset and frustrated.
What's the matter with you?
Peralta, we need to talk.
About?
The school called today. They told me you haven't been in class for a week.
Yeah, so what?
Peralta, get off your phone and talk to me. We need to talk about this. Peralta, get off your phone and talk to me. look at you. Your eyes are bloodshot. And what is that smell?
It is at this point that Mr. Lancelot realizes his son has been smoking marijuana.
You've been smoking. Is this why you've been skipping class? You were such a good student.
Dad, it's not that big of a deal.
Not that big of a deal. Don't you care about your future?
Lay off. I've got enough time to figure
The
stuff out.
school said you might not graduate.
Both father and son were extremely frustrated after their conflict. That evening, Peralta stayed in his room. He began to think about his dad and how close they once were. He never wanted to disappoint his father. He had just been using marijuana as a way to cope with his pain. He feels really bad about making his dad worry about him. Peralta knows how hard his father is working to support them both now that his mom is gone. He also knows how hard the loss has been on his father. Mr. Lancelot also takes the evening to decompress and reflect on the interaction he had with his son. He feels very guilty for yelling and not showing compassion. Mr. Lancelot knows how hard things have been over the last few months since his wife has died. He resolves to speak with his son again in the morning and to apologize for their fight.
Come and eat while it's hot.
Thanks.
How was your night?
Fine. I was thinking about a lot.
Me too. About last night.
Dad, listen. I didn't want to disappoint you. But things are hard right now. With Mom gone, it's so difficult to keep my head straight and focus on the things that are important to me.
Peralta, son, you could never disappoint me. I'm just worried about you. Look, I know things are hard right now with Mom gone. I just want the best for you. I love you, son. I just worry.
Dad, no. I love you too. And I don't want you to worry about me.
But I do worry. I want to be there for you. I want you to talk to me. We used to do so much together.
Well, maybe that's a start. I've been so overwhelmed, and I think smoking was a way to cope with everything. And I missed some of my classes, and now I don't even know if I'm gonna graduate.
I mean, the school said that as long as you show up for classes and hand in all of your overdue assignments, you'll still be able to graduate. I also want to go to grief counseling with you. Both of us have so much healing that we need to do.
It sounds good to me, Dad.
Peralta and Mr. Lancelot ate the rest of their breakfast with smiles and laughter. The two of them have been going through a rough time these past few months, but they were able to open up with one another to resolve the issues that they have been facing. They agreed times have been hard, but are going to work together to get the help they need. Peralta and Mr. Lancelot are now going to move forward with each other's help and support.
While Peralta has been dealing with problems keeping up with his grades and attending school, Mr. Lancelot has begun to feel disconnected from his son. They are both dealing with grief in different ways due to the passing of Mr. Lancelot's wife and Peralta's mother. When Mr. Lancelot got the call from Peralta's school, he had trouble trying to have a conversation with Peralta as to why he was not attending school and handing in assignments. During this conversation, he discovered that Peralta had been smoking marijuana. He got frustrated with his son for his poor choices using a disconfirming response, and they then ended the conversation abruptly and with anger. As they both took the night to decompress and reflect on the conversation, they then joined together for breakfast the next morning. Peralta apologized to his father and expressed the ways that he went wrong in the process of dealing with his grief. Being a relational listener, Mr. Lancelot empathized with Peralta, and they both agreed to be more open with their emotions throughout their father-son relationship moving forward.
I'm hopeful, yes I am hopeful for today. Take this music and use it, let it take you away. And be hopeful, hopeful, and he'll make a way. I know it ain't easy, but that's okay, cause we hopeful.
I wish that you could show some love instead of hating so much when you see some other people coming up. I wish I could teach the world to sing, write some music and have them tripping off the joy I bring. I wish that we can hold hands, listen instead of dissing lessons from a grown man. And I wish the families that lack but got love get some stacks, brand new shot in the lack that's on dubs. And I wish we could keep achieving wonders, see the vision of the world through the eyes of Stevie Wonder. You feel me? And I hope all the kids eat, and don't nobody in my family see 6 feet. You dig? I hope the mothers stand strong. You can make it whether you with them or your man's gone. And I wish I could give every Sally some.
Okay. Sounds good to me, Dad. I'm ready.